Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about some accessory electronic devices that you can bring with you while you're traveling, and hopefully they'll help to make your life a little bit easier instead of more complicated. The first thing we're going to be talking about is plugs and chargers. Now, to the best of my knowledge, the United States, Canada, some Caribbean islands, Japan, and Taiwan use 110 voltage. Everywhere else uses 220. Now, if you're from the United States and you go and plug something into a outlet in, say, Spain, at best, you're going to get a short. At worst, you're going to have your thing blow up and you're going to have a fire on your hands. So what you're going to need for that is you're going to need a converter, which literally looks like a brick. You plug that into the socket, and then you plug your device into that, and what it does is it regulates the current so that your device can handle it. However, there's something that you can look at. If you have a laptop, a digital camera, or a cell phone charger, for the most part, they usually come already regulated so that they can handle both voltages. That's not always a given, but for the most part you can check on the device itself. Just look anywhere on the charger, and if it says input 110 to 220, sometimes they go a little bit past that. For example, this laptop charger goes from 100 to 240. If it's within that range, then it can handle both voltages. So that's my little spiel about laptop, digital camera, and cell phone chargers. Then all you need is a plug converter. So those of you from the States, you recognize the little two-prong plug right here that we see everywhere. However, you're going to notice that the plug sockets look different in other places. For example, you have the round sockets here. This is for Europe and Asia. And let's see if I can bring this out here. This is a cell phone charger meant for Europe and Asia too. So you're going to have this round thing. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to plug this in here, and then you plug that in the socket, no problems. Here's Australia, which looks like ours. The little flat sections, however, they're diagonal. And there's another one for Australia as well, and then they have that third prong. So pretty similar to ours, right? And then you got this big honking one for the UK. I always wondered why this was so big, and then I asked my friends who live in the UK, and actually in school what they learn is there's a fuse in here. That's why this is so big compared to ours. So if a fuse blows out on their devices, they're actually taught in school how to open up the plug and replace the fuse. You just go to a hardware store, pay like 50 cents, replace the fuse, close it up, and they learn to fix their own electronics, whereas ours, like, if the fuse is inside the device itself and it blows, you're going to end up paying 50, 60 bucks trying to repair it, or have to throw away the device and get a new one. So I mean, I think that's pretty cool. The disadvantage of that is, of course, you're going to probably only be able to fit 4 or 5 of these on a power strip. So that's what the UK one looks like. In terms of buying these adapters, you're going to find a larger one at some of the travel stores, and they have all the different plugs in them. Now, if you're traveling around the world, that might be a good buy. However, if you're only going to go to, say, the UK, you don't need that big bulky one, and this is going to be a lot cheaper. The large adapter will cost you like 25, 30 bucks. This one will cost you about $3.50, $4 for each of these, and usually you can get them all as a set together for about $15 for all the different countries. And you'll save a little bit of weight and a little bit of bulk. The only disadvantage to this is because some of these are so small, when you plug this into the outlet and then you plug yours in, sometimes you won't get that stability because it is so thin, versus if you had like a big brick to hold it stable up against a wall. So that's something to think about. However, if you're going to go on the cheap, these little tiny ones are the way to go, especially if you're only going to stick to one region. If you're only going to stick to Europe, you're only going to need this. You're not going to need that huge one with all the different little plugs on it. But if you're on a round-the-world trip, you might want to give that a shot. Also, another little thing I have right here. Any of you who have an iPod or a digital camera or some other device that powers itself by USB device, and you don't have access to a laptop, or you can't get away to a internet cafe to plug it in, they have these little chargers here. And by the way, this also is dual voltage. This can handle from 90 to 260 volts. So this is cool to be used in any country. All you got to do is change the plug adapter. This lets you plug this into a socket, and then anything that gets charged by USB, you can just plug it into this. So this is really convenient. So if you have an iPod, then you don't need a computer. You can just plug this in, and you don't have to worry about it. You can get these on Amazon.com or eBay. These run anywhere from $5 to $6. So really good buy, especially if you use a lot of electronics that are powered by USB. And that brings me to cell phones. That's the last thing. If you want to call home, or you just want to have a cell phone handy when you're walking around in whatever country you're in, you're going to realize that if you're from the States, your phone doesn't work. Basically, the United States and Canada, the cell phones there run off of 850 or 1900 megahertz, whereas the rest of the world runs off of GSM, which is 900 and 1800 megahertz. So any phone from the United States, this is a USA phone, this is a phone for another region. If you take your phone from the States over, it's not going to work. What you can do is you can buy a tri-band or quad-band phone which has both American signals and one or both of the European or world signals, and that'll work. That gets a little bit expensive. What I do is I usually go online to eBay and just get myself a cheap little $20 phone that is set for 900/1800 megahertz. For example, this phone won't work in the States, but that's fine. And this is a nice little cheap knockaround phone. If it breaks on me, I'm not going to cry. It's only 20 bucks. So your best bet, if I were you, if you're coming from the States or North America, go online. Get yourself one of these cheap little phones that are meant for those signals. You have to make sure that it's either 900 or 1800 megahertz. Once you get that cheap phone, when you land in your country of choice, for example, if you land in Australia or Thailand or the UK, basically what you do is you go into a phone shop, and some places have it in convenience stores and supermarkets. What you can do is you can buy a replacement SIM card. Replace the SIM card and it will have credit already built into it. It's like a prepaid card. Then you just use it like any other phone, and then you have like your own number, and then when you want to recharge it, you can go to any of those shops, pay by credit card or by cash. They'll give you a phone number, and then you can dial it in, and what happens, it recharges the amount of time that you have left on your card. And then when you move on, you can either sell the card or just give it away to a friend. And so that's probably the easiest option in terms of if you want to use a cell phone when you're traveling. So that's my little spiel about all these little electronic doodads. I hope this helped, and thanks for watching, and have a good day, guys. Sorry for all the wires. Hope you guys have a good way of keeping these more organized than I do. Alright, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye.